sure all the people listening in can appreciate what I said before about Greg, who's very articulate and very knowledgeable, but more importantly, he's very passionate about a lot of these issues, because I know in his writing, this is something that he hears about all the time. We have very passionate people that work, hardworking people in our energy sector from all industries. And these are some of their main concerns. And I know that I know I am, and a lot of other people are very proud to have Greg in the position that he's in right now, so he can question the government on this. And Greg, I don't know if I'm sure you'll remember that before the pandemic, there was that the project that we were debating about heavily inside the House of Commons, the Teck Frontier Mining Project. And we saw with the government, and when we talk about overreach, we also have to acknowledge the fact that there's always goalposts that are being moved. And when we talk about Bill C-69 or the carbon tax, even Bill C-48, which is the tanker ban in a sense, where we can get our product to the West Coast, but a tank can't take our product from the West Coast and deliver it to the world markets. All these, I would say, red tape or burdens and overreaches by the government have, and you brought this up as well, that companies don't see a benefit to investing in Canada because of all these overreaches and all these more obstacles that get put in front of them. And going back to that one project that was here that was supposed to bring around 8,000 jobs to Alberta, it was supposed to bring a good economy back to Alberta as well. And we know that project died on the cabinet table of the Liberal government. If you could speak a little bit more to that and what your experience was at that time.
Yeah, and it actually happened before I was actually the critic for natural resources. But Teck Frontier was supposed to be the next oil sands development that happened in Canada. And Teck, of course, is a large mining company in Canada, and had gone through every hoop of designing a mine that was environmentally friendly, met all the standards, has all kinds of social benefit because it involved a large consultation and jobs and IBA's benefit agreements with the Indigenous community. Absolutely. So there was a whole bunch of good in this project and actually getting the product to market and getting the project developed. In the end, a week before the cabinet decision, the final and extended period when the cabinet had to make the decision on it, Teck Frontier actually withdrew their application, and and I confronted Teck on that, subsequently saying, look, that's a little bit of gamesmanship, because there's no way you spent the tens, hundreds of millions of dollars that you spent getting that project through to approval process. And while it's on the cabinet minister's desk,
20-year period, right?
That's right. It gets yanked. Okay, we decided not to do it. That's a bit of a little insider baseball. You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours kind of thing. And I've directly told Teck that if your job is to get this all the way there, and actually call this government on saying, no, we don't want this project to go ahead. And that is effectively what happened. The government did not want this project to go ahead. I was expecting, Jas, the same thing on Bay du Nord. This whole kind of like, okay, well, we might look at it, we might approve it. But you think about Bay du Nord's in Newfoundland. And Newfoundland, with all due respect from a partisan perspective, has 6 Liberals out of 7 MPs. Absolutely. So there was some political pressure there as well. There's also some really good oil there. It's quite deep. It's deeper than anything that's been drilled offshore Canada before. And it has some very light oil. It's Equinor, so it's a Norwegian state-owned enterprise, if you will, that's going to develop that starting in about 2028. And about 200 to 300,000 barrels a day. So it's a significant find. And it's good for the country because there's all kinds of royalties, all kinds of jobs associated with it. It's light oil. It's got a very low environmental footprint. But you think about that dichotomy between why wasn't Teck Frontier approved and why was Bay du Nord approved? I'm very happy Bay du Nord was approved. I also wanted Teck Frontier to get through those goalposts as well because they proved through everything they had supplied to the entire regulatory process, the entire decision-making chain, that it was a good project, environmentally friendly, socially progressive, better for Canada, better for the world's environment, and yet somehow it got overruled. That is the government putting its thumb on the scale as far as what it actually writes down as far as the regulation goes and what it actually wants. And I think we need to kind of consider that. I don't like to say that this government is anti-Alberta, although they do seem to base a lot of their projects decisions on what's good for other parts of the country where they have better representation. I also wonder, I got to tell you this, Jas, if Albertans don't see this, that they're constantly being shut down as far as their contributions to the environment, their contributions to the Canadian economy, there still are people in Alberta that vote Liberal. And it's kind of like, okay, what aren't you seeing here, that there is a government here that is trying to move you backwards in so much of what you provide for Canada's economic benefit, for Canada's social benefit, and for Canada's environmental benefit.